What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 106, and we start today's episode off with me changing the number of Paul Pogba after the last episode where I asked you guys to vote and decide what number our new superstar should have at Borussia Dortmund, and you guys decided pretty convincingly that he should take the number he had for United, he had for Juventus, and that is the number 6. So Saul will now wear 26, that was Davis's number, and the Hoover will take 4. That was the number I initially gave Pogba. So those three change, and Pogba, of course, will wear the number 6 jersey for Borussia Dortmund. So a big thank you to everyone for voting. I appreciate it very, very much indeed. And if you didn't want 6, I do apologise. I wanted 4 personally, but 6 is the number that most of you guys chose. That's why he takes it. And a big thank you to everyone for voting in the poll. But still, coming into the first game of today's episode here, we take on FSV Mainz in the Bundesliga. And of course, in the last episode, you saw transfer deadline day. There were no deals done for any players, as we had 0 pennies at all with Borussia Dortmund. So between now and the end of the season, which will be the end of the series, we'll be stuck with this group of players. But since Pogba's come in, we've looked pretty decent, a lot better than we were playing before that. We were stuttering in terms of form before Pogba's arrival, but since he's come in, he's made us look a completely better team. And 13 minutes into this game, we would open the scoring through Aubameyang, this season's top scorer, storming down the left from inside his own half, well inside his own half, just using sheer pace alone, step overing around a covering defender, cutting back onto his right foot, and crossing the ball into the middle where Timo Werner headed in to make it 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund. And in the 17th minute, Aubameyang could have scored himself, went through one-on-one after cutting past the last defender, but the goalkeeper made a very good save and kept Mainz still only trailing by 1. And just before the break, they almost got back on level terms. This shot hitting the woodwork and then deflected off Marley before going behind for a goal kick. A great chance there for the away side to get back on level terms, which, to be fair, they probably would have deserved because they were playing quite well in the first half. We were still leading by a goal to 0. But in the second half here, as we began straight away, right from kickoff, I don't know if you guys do this as well, but normally what I'll do is just mess around for a couple of minutes sometimes. I would just pass the ball to like every single player, get everyone a touch, or just do random skill moves for the hell of it. Well, it was actually quite a few nice skill moves from Pogba as he goes on a storming run here down the right hand side, cuts past the bus man, leaves him in his wake, and then he dives in on Paul Pogba, clearly showing his frustration, takes down our number 6, and Paul Pogba wins a penalty and gives us a chance to double our lead just 2 minutes after the restart. And I gotta say here, when he was taken down, I was like, well, I'm glad to have won a penalty, but my word, man, seriously, I am fuming at that Mainz defender, because that could have been an unbelievable solo goal from Paul Pogba had he let him continue his run. But anyway, Paul Pogba would stand up and take the penalty. I subbed off Aubameyang at half time, so I wanted to play him in midweek against Inter Milan in the Champions League. Paul Pogba would stand up and take the penalty, and he'd score it as well. It's now 3 goals in 3 games for Paul Pogba. He has had a fantastic start to life here at the Signal Iduna Park. Already 3. You know, it's crazy to say that as a player that I'm playing in the DM area. Already 3 goals this season, and it's Dortmund 2, FSV Mainz 0. But sadly, 5 minutes later, the away side would get themselves a goal, which they probably did deserve in all fairness. They got the ball inside the area, and Marley, who was looking dangerous all game long, smashed the ball into the bottom corner, and Michael Müller in goal had his clean sheet ruined and had no chance with a goal either. Pretty nice build-up too from Mainz there, and a good finish into the back of the net. So Dortmund 2, Mainz 1 as they halved the deficit, with Marley scoring his 3rd goal of the season. But a few minutes later, we win the ball back here with Sven, who flew off the bench through towards Pogba, who found Diego Menendez inside the area. And all the tricks came out in this game from both Paul Pogba and Diego Menendez, but sadly, this shot was well saved by the goalkeeper, and Menendez was denied a very nice little run there. So still Dortmund 2, Mainz 1. With 12 minutes to go, we were still in control of this game, despite only leading by a goal, and we'd rack the points up as well through you know who, because we won ourselves a free kick just about 25 yards out from the goal, I think it was. Menendez takes it, curls it round the wall into the back of the net, and Pogba celebrates with him, as do the other players, because we know we're going to get a huge 3 points here and extend our win streak. And since Pogba's come in, we've looked a completely different team. You know, in December and in November, our form took a massive nosedive. We were stuttering really badly, but since the Frenchman's arrival, we are looking so good. And of course, our main 2 players are Diego and Aubameyang, still right now, both with 11 goals. And there's a question for you. Who will win the Golden Boot this season? Diego Menendez or Aubameyang? Both have 11 goals right now in this season. And of course, last season, Aubameyang pipped Diego to the Golden Boot by a couple of goals. But this year, I got a sneaky feeling Diego is going to sneak it himself. So who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot this year? Once again, it's going to be a two-horse race. We already know that between Diego and Aubameyang. Who do you think is going to take the Golden Boot this year? Let me know in the comment section down below. Diego or Aubameyang? I think this year, Diego is going to do it. But anyway, for the second game of today's episode here, we take on Inter Milan at the away in the Champions League at the San Siro here in Milan. So coming to this game, excited for this one because I rarely ever get to face Inter Milan in Korea, but I don't know why. Maybe you guys have this same kind of notice these same things as me, but there are always certain clubs that I rarely ever play against. There are a lot of clubs that I do play against frequently in Europe, but I never ever play against Inter Milan, like rarely ever, unless I'm in this area, obviously, you stupid moron dogs. But anyway, coming into this game then away at the San Siro in the Champions League in midweek. Of course, last season in the Champions League, we were knocked out in this stage at the round of 16 by Arsenal, and this season the Wolves wants to reach the final, so we had to make sure in the first leg we get a really solid result. Or how about this for a start? Because directly from kickoff, Inter Milan gave the ball away. Who won it back? Kevin Volland. That high defensive work rate, I told you that's why I like him so much. Wins us the ball back. We get the ball through towards Diego, who scored in the last game and scores just 2.5 minutes into the second game today. And what a lovely goal it was. His free kick goal was nice, but this one in my opinion was even better. The number 5 got completely bamboozled. The other blue and black shirts didn't want to dive in. Menendez comes forward to shoot, and it's a crisp finish from just inside the area. The goalkeeper has no chance whatsoever as it clips the inside the post, goes into the back of the net, and Diego Menendez fires us into an early lead here at the San Siro. And you guys know I love those away goals in European ties. I go on about them every single European tie. That's always my focus in the away leg, and we get ourselves that goal just 2 minutes in through Diego Menendez. Inter tried to respond there, but Michael Muller made a really good save, and then past the half-an-hour mark here, once again Diego Menendez goes on a great run. First with Magidi spin, rolls it through towards Aubameyang, and then he goes for goal. The Handanovic makes a great save and turns behind for a corner, so still 1-0. But from the corner, Diego takes it towards the near post, and if you thought Diego's goal was good, this one was even better. Aubameyang, who didn't score in the last game against Mainz to try and get his goal tally extended to 12 plus in the Bundesliga, but he does score here in the Champions League to make it 2-0 to Dortmund. We get ourselves our second away goal in the first half, and what a goal it was too. As Menendez drills in a corner, Aubameyang's acrobatic effort beats the Slovenian goalkeeper Handanovic, goes into the back of the net. I'm celebrating on the touchline. 2 superb goals in the first half. Both have 3 in the Champions League now, and it's 2-0 to Borussia Dortmund in the first half, where we were really on fire. So 2 to Dortmund. We could have made it 3 as well in the second half, where not much really happened, but Handanovic made a meal of this cross, and Weigl almost punished him, but sadly, the Slovenian did well to get back on his line and make the save. But it was how the game would finish. 2-0 to Borussia Dortmund. Another fantastic display from Diego Menendez, a great solo goal, and then assisting Aubameyang's fantastic acrobatic effort as well. 2 fantastic goals, well 3 really in today's episode to be honest. So another couple of great goals there, and we win the game by 2-0. And of course those away goals, I know you guys get sick of me saying, and I know I really should stop because I say it every single away tie in Europe, but it really is true. If you want to get yourself through an away tie, the best way I've always found is to capitalize on the away tie and get yourself that cushion in terms of away goals, because now we know that Inter will have to score at least 2 goals here at the Signal Iduna Park, which to be honest they could definitely do. They're a decent side, but they couldn't even score a 1 at home, so I'm certainly fancying my chances of making it through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But for the third and final game of today's episode here, we will take on Hoffenheim here at home in the Bundesliga, and Hoffenheim right now sitting in 17th place, but for us, we're in 2nd place, 2 points behind Leverkusen, but we have a game in hand. So this is the first time in quite a few weeks where we had an opportunity to go back to top of the table for the first time since October, I do believe. So a big chance here for us to go top of the table for the first time in a while anyway. And the first couple of chances fell to our main man, Diego Menendez. First his shot being well saved by the goalkeeper, and then the second one cannoning off the post before eventually being cleared by the away team. We were the only side, didn't know, in the first half. Hoffenheim basically set out their their stall in the first half, said try and break us down, score a goal, and we'll play for the 0-0. And sadly, as you'll see, that's the result Hoffenheim did get as well, because the game did finish goalless, and we failed to go top of the table despite us having the chance to in this game. And if you remember last season, this happened quite frequently, slipping up in games where we had the chance to take the upper hand in our battle against Bayer Leverkusen to be league leaders. And despite the fact last season it did end up as a happy ending with us being crowned champions, I got a bad feeling that this season we won't get too many chances like this one where we can retake the lead in the Bundesliga title, and we may not get lucky this season and still end up being crowned champions as we blow a good chance to take a 2-point lead, or a 1-point lead I should say, at the top of the table. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode though, guys, so a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, as likes are of course very much appreciated and they really help the channel grow as well. Much love to you all, have a great day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.